Shteppi just dropped a new album called 20, and I got the opportunity to talk to her and dive into how it was made and the story behind it. If you haven't listened to it yet, I definitely recommend doing that before coming back and watching this video. Oh, and I made an Instagram, so if that interests you, go check that out. I listened to it like twice since you sent it to me. It's like, I really like it. It's great.
Fuck yeah, dude. I appreciate that a shit ton. I really like that album. I've been working on that album for forever. It wasn't an album for like the first 4 songs, they were just singles, but I ended up just kind of slapping them together and then just making other songs to go along with those ones, and it turned into that album.
Is that how most albums turn out for you? You usually start with like a single?
Yeah, I usually start with like either like 1 or 2 singles. I'll just be like, these would sound good on a project together. Or I'll just make a song and be like, this sounds like an interlude for an album. And then I'll just like build off of that kind of. Or I'll just have a fucking idea and just make some shit like already. Like I'm making an album in my mind.
So it's called 20 because you're turning 20, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Is there some other like deeper meaning behind like the story or just the overall theme?
It's about a lot of different things. The album, funny enough, isn't about being 20. It's about being a teenager and like my journey to being 20 and what has kind of molded me into being a 20-year-old. But a lot of it is just like stories from my life about like my friends or like exes or ex friends or other things that like have shaped me into who I am today. So a lot of just like I just wanted to make a pop album.
It sounded like some of the songs remind me of Moi. Was there like any inspiration? Was it made during that time?
Some of them were "Feel You in My Soul." That was originally gonna be on Moi, and then 20 was one of the last songs I made, like the intro. I Don't Mean to Pry was made like almost a year ago. But yeah, I think "Feel You in My Soul" is the oldest one. That and "Rot." "Rot" was gonna be on the Moi Deluxe as well, like the B-side tape.
How'd you like settle on the sound? Did you have like a theme?
Not really. I kinda just, like once again, I was just making songs and songs, like but I wanted to keep it, like, melodic for the most part. There are, like, 2 rap songs on it where I rap, that being, Ash and 20, like, the intro. I don't know, for the most part, I just wanted to make a pop album to say I made a pop album, cause like, I'm trying to go in a different direction with, shteppi stuff than brokey stuff, because a lot of brokey shit is, like, super either, like, conceptual or it's just, like, shit posting. Like, it's not really stuff I take too much time making. But, like, this album, I took, like, a decent amount of time making all these songs, even if some of them are older. Like, those were songs that I did work on, like, super hard at the time. So, a lot of it is just, like, me doing pop, my interpretations of certain pop styles, and I've made stuff that I listen to.
Is this the longest time you spent like making an album?
Moi took me 2 years.
2 years. Wow.
Moi took me 2 years because I had just gotten out of that breakup, and I was like, "Damn, I wanna make an album about this girl." And then I ended up making a bunch of songs about the same girl, not even wanting to make an album, but it all just culminated into one thing, and then I was like, "Alright, here's an album about that girl that I was super duper in love with for a bit."
Wait, if this was pop, then what like genre is Moi?
I would say Moi is like a plug and B album. I guess Moi is also a pop album, but it takes more of like a rap influence than this album did. Cause like the rap songs on this are very just like rap, like I'm rapping about shit. On Moi, you could kind of pass that album off as a rap album, even though it's me singing, cause it's like just melodic rap shit. But I wouldn't call it pop personally. That's just me.
20 actually reminded me of like a X song. Do you get that vibe?
Definitely. I mean, fucking dude, X was like one of my biggest influences. He definitely inspired me to start yelling on songs and pitching up my vocals. That's another thing he inspired me to do, which I still do to this day. But 20 is just about I wrote that like a couple months ago. Wasn't even that old of a song, but I was just like super sad and I was just like, "Damn, I'm about to be 20 and I feel like I don't know. At the time, I was just like, "Dude, I feel like a fucking bum." Like, but, I ended up making that song just talking about everything that I was feeling at the time, and, I ended up liking it a lot, and I was like, "This intro on the album." Definitely some X influence, just, like, with the way I sing, rap, all of that, but for that song, I was super inspired by, like, just, like, old school, like, rappers like Nas or Big L or, like, Biggie, just those motherfuckers.
What other artists inspired this album, if any?
Definitely a bit of, like, Breakins, Eric DOA, Glaive, those guys. I don't really listen to Glaive as much, but his production is super inspiring to me. Definitely a lot of Breakins, 'cause Hypochondriac was, like, a big like, my favorite album for a while, and then it's obviously, like, changed since then. I listened to a shit ton of music, but it's still up there, don't get me wrong. Lots of Breakins towards the end of the album, lots of Eric DOA towards the end of the album. Some Zach Greer, that's an underrated musician. If y'all don't know Zach Greer, Zakgreer, that motherfucker's fire. He makes pop music, and it makes me dance like a white girl. I love it. It's so good.
For "Let Me Out Please," what do you wanna be, like, let out of in this song?
A very shitty friendship that I was in with this person who was like, oh, dude, where do I won't get into it too much because they're just like actually crazy. But it's just like it's more about just like people who gaslight you and gaslight the people around you into thinking that they and you are like a bad person when it's just like they're like a person that from the beginning is like, damn, all of my friends like leave me, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, okay, like that's fine. I'll be your friend. And then it's just like you find out why. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's a reason that people say you suck. It's not just like people being mean. It's just people like reacting to how you act.
That's a theme I've kinda noticed in a few of your songs before. Do you talk about the same situations multiple times?
Sometimes I do. With Shut the Fuck Up and Let Me Out Please are about the same person.
I thought of "Shut the Fuck Up" when, with the song "Please Stop Talking" because it's got a it's kinda got a similar title.
That is also the same person. Please Stop Talking is supposed to be like a not sequel, because I don't really like giving songs like sequel tracks, but like it's definitely like a continuation of how I was feeling on Shut the Fuck Up, just with different words and different melodies. There are a couple songs about that person on this project. There's Let Me Out Please, We Ain't Friends No More, Please Stop Talking, and yeah, that's it. Just those three. There I talk about multiple shitty people on this album.
Okay, yeah, this seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I wrote down when I listened to it because I have notes up here. I said this one like amazed me how like you can come up with like flows from scratch like this. Because whenever I listen to like a beat and I think of like how a rapper comes up with a flow, I just can't imagine like how they do it.
I mean, with writing lyrics, a lot of the time, like as a kid, I used Rhyme Zone a shit ton, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do.
That's that gas. Rhyme Zone is a website where you just like you put in a word to like a search engine and then it just gives you a shit ton of words that rhyme with that word. And that helped me super early. But then I like vowed a couple of years ago to just stop using Rhyme Zone. So I haven't since. But what do you call it? That definitely helped me a lot. Just filling in gaps, like you say, fucking cat, bat, and it's if it's on a beat that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta add like bounce to that. So like you could flow like one and a two to the three to the four. Like once you do it long enough,
It just comes to you.
yeah. After a while, you just get like I feel like listening to a lot of older rappers or just a lot of different types of rap and music will help you a shit ton when coming up with flows and like lyrics. Lots of Joey Badass, definitely. That guy helped me.
The song I was referencing when I said the X thing was "Infinity" with him and Joey Badass.
Definitely. I really like that song.
How do you choose what songs to release before the album?
Okay, so it's usually very hard, and I have my friends help me because I'm the most indecisive person. You can tell by my name alone. Like shteppi and brokey are like two different things because I can't decide like what one at the moment at least, or at least like when I was first doing it, like which one I wanted to put first. Right now, I'm trying to put shteppi first, and brokey is just like a side thing. But a lot of people really like brokey, and I'm sure a lot of people got into me because of the yelling stuff, but, I feel like that's good though, because that just means I'm helping people get a broader, sense of, like, what music they could be into. I've heard from a couple different fans, like, at shows and stuff, fans have told me, like, "Dude, you, like, inspired me to check out, like, other artists, that aren't just, like, yelling on beats," and I'm like, that makes me wanna cry, I get so happy about that. But with picking out songs off of the project to put out first, I usually have to like yell at my friends to be like, "Help me pick one. Which one is your guys' favorite?" And they'll just be like, "That one, and that one. Put those out." And I'll be like, "Okay."
That's good that you're converting people to who only listen to scream rap to listen to other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, scream rap has followed me like a fucking demon that has cursed my family for generations. So fucking just so much of, a demand for it for some reason.
Scream rap's cool, but some of the people that listen to it, like, they can get a little too intense sometimes.
You were saying at first, you were like, "Your fan base is very passionate." I was like, "Yeah, they're crazy." I love my fans, but my fans are fucking batshit insane sometimes. I love it though.
My favorite song that you released before the album was Bye, going into it. But We Ain't Friends No More kind of takes the cake for me. What's your favorite song?
My favorite song off the album is probably "Don't Waste Your Time on Me," or either "Don't Waste Your Time on Me" or "In Time," because it's about my boyfriend and it makes me happy. But yeah, probably those two. I don't know if I could choose between those two. Probably "In Time" though.
Oh, the In Time's the interlude.
Yeah, "In Time" is like the one of me singing with the guitar.
The instrumentals that you make are all like beautiful. Like the ones on the you posted some on YouTube. Those are good too.
Okay, I've been getting into production. I didn't produce like anything on this album, except for "In Time," which is just like me on a guitar. But I'm working on a self-produced album right now. It's all like indie, like bossa nova, lots of bossa nova influence, lots of like Latin guitar. Lots of that is cool. I'm going like a weird turn with shteppi shit after this album, but it's gonna be cool.
Do you feel like you've gotten a lot better since producing since the last time we've talked?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Okay. Maybe not that much better. I'll keep it a band, but I've definitely gotten better. Cause when I talked to you, I think the only thing I had put out at the time were like a couple just like beats that was like fucking around on. But I've been making shit with like live instruments. Like I have a harp over there
A
that
harp?
I use. Yeah, that I used on the It's in a fucking shopping cart right now. It's low key.
You have a shopping cart?
Yeah, no, I stole it. I'm a delinquent, but I fucking I just have, like, this little, like, lyre harp, like a fucking weird one of these where you hold it like this and you play it. It's strange, but I played it on the album that I'm working on right now. It's really fucking cool.
For Ash, when I was listening to the song, I was like, "This is a story that you're telling from a couple different perspectives." If you feel comfortable saying, because it seems like a pretty personal song.
I'll talk about it.
Who's Ash in this song?
So, Ash was this guy that I knew when I was, like, a child, like, I'm talking about, like, elementary school. And I knew him for a long, long time, and he was the first, like, dude I ever had a crush on. So I was like, "Okay, like, am I weird for, like, thinking like this?" And then I, like, told my mom about it, and she was like, "Nah, man, you just gay or whatever." And I, like, explained that whole thing to me. So I was like, "Oh, that's what that is. I'm not, like, a fucking crazy, like, freak. I'm just a child that has a crush." And I told him about it like I would tell a girl, but he didn't understand at the time because we were both still, like, younger. Not, like, that young, we were, like, middle school, high school. But I ended up telling him one day after just, like I didn't even tell him I was, like, gay or nothing. I was, like, closeted straight, wasn't trans or nothing. I was just, like, a straight dude. And I was like, "Yeah, I like you." And he was like, "Oh, uh, cool, bro. Good for you that you're gay. Love you, man." And then he hit me up later and he was like, "Yo, by the way, that made me uncomfy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll fucking go die." And then we ended up just stopping talking, but it was like it was a very molding experience for me. It was like it kind of set me back a little bit. It made me a bit insecure for a long time, but then I just experimented with other people, and like now I'm with this guy that I'm super duper duper in love with. I've been with him for like 5 years. So like I'm fucking great now. But like I just figured I would tell that story because I know a lot of people have probably went through similar things that listen to my music because a lot of my fans are not of the heterosexual variety.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good growing song. There's something I caught with "Feel You in My Soul." You said like "Through Thunder and Lightning." Was this a reference to your other song?
No, I made that before
Oh, really?
that, like, bro, that song is old, like, that song's old as fuck. I had to have made that song. Yeah, I don't fucking remember when I made the song. It was a while ago, though. I don't know. That song is just about, like, when I had a crush on this one girl. Like, that's kinda it. It's it's, like, a pretty, like, two-dimensional song. I just had a crush on a girl when I was, like, a teenager, and then I just, like, kinda went back to that point in time, and then just, like, wrote about it from my perspective back then, just to put a love song on the album, to be honest. I just thought it sounded nice, I liked the beat, and I was like, "I could write a love song on this album." But, like, I tried to relate to a lot of people on, this album, just to make it, like, a thing where people could listen to it and they can see themselves in the perspective that I was in. I tried to make it so it's like there's a song for everybody on the album.
Do you ever have, like, a creative block or, like, doing an album?
Sometimes with albums, but with music itself, I don't really, which sounds like a douchey, overconfident thing to say, but I swear to God, you could ask any of my homies, I literally record a song, like, every day. Making music and, like, drawing, like, since I was a child, it's been, like, fucking eating or, like, sleeping or shitting or pissing to me. It's just, like, a thing that I have to do. Or else, like, I cannot function properly. I don't know. I don't really get too much writer's block, if that makes sense, 'cause there's just so much shit to write about. If I'm not writing about some shit about me, I'm writing from one of my friend's perspectives when he got broken up with, or, like, one of my homegirl's perspectives when she's, like, feeling herself type shit, like, it's just whatever. I'll write a song about fucking whatever. I showed at the end of the, listening party on the deluxe, I wrote a song about this annoying ass dog I'm living with right now. Like, there's just so much shit you could write about. You just gotta make it catchy, and that's what I'm doing.
For Please Stop Talking, this song was written like it was directed at somebody, but when I was listening to it, I was kinda thinking of it as more like a critique on just being fake in general or being fake in the music
Yeah.
scene. Like, how do you feel about that?
I could definitely see that. Like, it's definitely a song where, it's definitely talking about just people in general that you have to put up with in any social situation, whether it be if you're a rapper and you got, like, a entourage or whatever, or, like, a bunch of homies that you fuck with, like me and Karma Mob. Sometimes members of Karma Mob will have friends and, like, kinda integrate them into, like, the circle that we got. Those people will turn out to just piss me off, like, for no reason to no end, and I'm an asshole, so I write songs about them, and they have no fucking idea, and I'm a bad person. I mean, a lot of them most of the people I've wrote about in my music, no one I know talks to anymore, so, like, whatever, but, like, you gotta find inspiration somewhere.
How do you choose the order of the songs?
It's more just like what leans into what. This album is kinda all over the place, I'm not gonna lie, because then you'll have, like, a happy song, you'll have a sad song, another sad song, a happy song, then a rap song, then a fucking regalia song. It's just, like, back to back, just, like, whatever. I didn't really stress too much about the order of this album because 'cause they're all kind of just, like, it's not, like, telling a specific story, it's telling multiple stories in one thing. It's like an anthology album. It's an album telling a shit ton of different stories and different perspectives.
Does that mean you, like, choose the order based on how well it fits together sound-wise or, like, lyrics-wise?
Okay. Usually it's sonically. I try and not match the songs, but I try and at least have like some sort of structure where it's like it'll be like a happy, like bouncy song. Then the next one will be like same like kind of vibe, but less like bouncy, more like slow, happy. Then the next one will be slow and like kind of melancholy-ish, where it's like happy or sad. You could listen to it in any mood. Then the next one after that will be sad and slow, and then it'll ramp up back to like sad and bouncy. So it's just like it's honestly just whatever like links to whatever songs link to each other in some way, or like have a similar BPM, same swing, same like tempo or vibe to the song. I usually just try to line them up based on that.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. For rot, what does the rot mean for you in this song?
It's just fucking like bed rotting. Like it's just for people that have been like super duper depressed. And I don't mean just like XXXTentacion like Bart Simpson sad edit depressed. I mean like genuinely like cannot take care of yourself correctly depressed. I don't know. It like figured I would make a song about that because not a lot of people when they talk about being depressed talk about being depressed as it actually is. A lot of it is like romanticized or like making it seem super over dramatic when it's really just like, nah, man, I'm just like like decomposing in my room, being unhealthy as fuck, skinny as hell, not eating. You're just like sitting there, just like you can't do anything about it because you're too unmotivated to. So it's just like it's more of a song about like that. That's what like rotting represents. I'm good, by the way. Like a bunch of people were like, when I did the listening party, they were like typing in the chat like, "Bro, are you good?" And I'm like, I'm like, yes, I was feeling all of these emotions forever ago. So like I'm fine now. I'm in a great place. I'm like happier than I've arguably ever been.
I'm sure you get that a lot when you release sad songs,
Oh
and
yeah.
then a lot when you release angry songs, probably.
Not as much with angry songs just because like the world is so like fucked at the moment that it's just like everybody got a reason to be angry. So people don't really question the angry stuff. They usually know it's just for entertainment. But with the sad stuff, I definitely get a lot of messages because I have people who love me and I'm very happy about it. Like family members or friends will hit me up and be like, "Yo, you dropped this song, bro. Are you good? You was talking about killing yourself in it." And I'm like, "Man, I wanted to kill myself like that other day. I'm good now." Like it's just in between, just whatever, whenever. If I feel a way, Imma record it. It's what I mean, I record every day. I'm gonna get some sad songs in there.
On the next song, is that a similar vibe? Google Says I'm
Like
Dying?
yeah. Google Says I'm Dying. The reason I mentioned Breakins earlier, he has that album called Hypochondriac, and the reason I made that last song, like, a super, like, Breakinsy style, Hypochondriac style song, was because I myself am a hypochondriac. I'm scared all the time about my health. I get, like, super paranoid about, like, I'll have, like, a pain in my chest or something and be like, "What does this pain in my chest mean?" Into Google, and then it'll just be like, "You're dying." And I'm like, "Oh." Like, but then I'll talk to, like, an actual doctor being like, "I had this pain in my chest," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's just your fucking weird muscle gland number 367." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is just a normal thing humans experience, and I'm not fucking dying, I'm just tripping." And Google is feeding into it because Google. I don't know.
Yeah. I really like that ending. The, like how do you describe it? Like, EDM?
Kinda EDM-ish. Definitely very, a very also not just break-ins, Porter Robinson inspired song. If you fuck with Porter Robinson, I'm pretty sure Docky brought Porter Robinson up in y'all's interview. I watched it, by the way. Phenomenal interviewer. You're very
Thank
good.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, fucking of course. But yeah, Porter Robinson super inspired the last song. It's like a mix of like him and Breakins's vibes I was trying to like clash into one thing. And I think it worked out pretty well. It's cool.
Yeah, I really like those instrumentals. Is that the producer? Do you, like, work on, like, how that sounds, or does the producer just, like, rip one of those and you're like, "I really like that"?
It's usually just like they make a crazy beat and then I'll hear it and I'll just hit them up. Either they'll like post it online somewhere and I find it, like YouTube or like Instagram or Twitter, and I'll be like, I need this beat. Or they'll hit me up directly and be like, here's a beat for you. Or like, here's like a pack of beats. There's like 16 beats. You could choose whatever. And I'll just like hear it. And if it sounds cool, then I'll get on. But then there are also some people who will ask me for my email for beats and shit. I give it to them, and they just send me shitty ass beats every single day, and they just like not throwing shade to everybody or anybody, but like motherfuckers will just be like, yeah, fucking here's a beat, and it's just like it's literally just
They're trying.
like yeah, I'm like, how am I gonna get? I don't want to tell you to stop sending me beats, bro, but you're like clogging up the other really really good beats that I'm being sent. But I don't wanna be a dick, so I'm just like, "Ah!" I don't know what to say about it.
What's the meaning behind the is there if there is one, behind the period at the end of every song?
It's supposed to represent, like, how I'm trying to just be undeniably myself with shteppi music. With Brokey, I'm kinda putting on, like, a facade, a character, like, a act. With shteppi, I'm not at all. That is dead ass just me, like Stephanie. That is just me making music. Brokey is, like, its own kinda thing. It's like a brand now, and, like, a character that I kinda have to stick to with that. But with shteppi, I just kinda have free reign to talk about what I want to, so the period is supposed to represent just, like, no pun intended, but, like, point blank period, this is what I am authentically, and it's just like that. It's not like some of the punctuation is just, like, straight up wrong. Like, some of them aren't even, like, sentences, it's just, like, a word, period. Like, and then it's like, alright. But it's more of just, like, an aesthetically pleasing thing to me as well.
Any, like, final overall thoughts about it before you, like, turn the page on this album? I guess you can't really say turn the page because you haven't released it yet, but
I don't know, I wanna experiment a lot more after this album. One, I wanna drop, like, actual physical physicals of this album, vinyls and like CDs and shit and cassettes. That would be super sick. Other than that, I don't think much merch probably come out. Maybe like a poster. Poster would be cool. But like, I don't know what else I'll do with this album. Probably nothing, because it was just such like a that's just it is what it is. And it's like I feel like if I just keep adding shit to it, it'll make it like less authentic to what it is. And what it is just an album about me feeling shit. But after this, I plan on making like a finishing that indie project. I want to make a metal project at some point. I want to make grunge shit, punk shit, jazz. I want to like do a bunch of different crazy shit. So I think most of what this year is going to be, because I'm also getting that tour is like confirmed that it's like being set up now that I talked about in the last interview. It is like now being set up. I'm gonna try to tour in the summer, some brokey stuff. So most of this year is literally just gonna be like me touring, dropping more like clothing shit, and then also just experimenting a fuck ton behind the scenes with my sound and just trying to refine it as much as I can. I'm still gonna be dropping like in 2025 and shit. It's just gonna be probably like less like in your face, like how like Evil was. But yeah, that's the direction I'm probably gonna go after the album.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna try to go to that tour wherever it is in California.
Yeah, it's fucking it's gonna be like a whole West Coast tour, hopefully. So like it's gonna be from like maybe like Oregon and like Washington down to like San Diego, hopefully.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm super fucking excited for it.
You'll definitely
But
get like a big turnout.
I hope so.
I feel like you have one of the strongest like percentage of people that like follow you that are like fans. There's like certain powerful fan bases. I feel like you just have that.
Thank you, man. I try to be as like transparent with my fan base as possible. So when they do weird shit, I'm usually like very there to tell them you're being weird. But like for the most part they're pretty cool because they actually listen to my music. Like this album and like shteppi stuff is supposed to help people understand me as a person better. That and also like my podcast with Is a Couch, the Creamcast. Sorry for plugging my shit in your video, but
That's fine. You can plug all you want.
I got like that. So it's like I feel like my fans, it's just parasocial enough to where like they know me well enough to see themselves as like a part of what I'm doing. And that's what I want. I want people to like very much like my whole shit is just be yourself unapologetically and make what you want to hear or look at. And I feel like a lot of people resonate with that, especially right now because like not to be a bummer, but like people like me are being like right now, like in 2025, like straight the beginning of it is just like every fucking bad thing possibly happening being like fuck you, you don't deserve rights or like whatever, like we're gonna get you kicked out of where you live and where you were raised because you can't help it. I feel like a lot of people are going to see what I'm doing and really want to be a part of it because I'm trying to turn it into more of like a movement of just like be you unapologetically and fuck these politicians and shit. But
100%.
that's why I feel like I'm gonna start embodying more of like the punk side of shit recently or like in the future. Cause just like I'm very inspired by like a lot of punk like ideologies and shit. And just like a lot of punk music I've been listening to a shit ton recently. And also just like old, like early 2000s, like emo, like metal shit. So I'm probably gonna go down that lane a bit with shteppi this year as well in Brokey, but definitely all of this and the next couple years is going to be very much on you fuck with me or it's fuck you energy because I feel like that's what a community like my fan base would need right now. And that's what I feel like I owe to people. You know what I mean? Not to sound like I'm Batman or some shit, but like I don't know, man. I just want to make music. It's cool.
I really like the punk stuff, especially like I've been like replaying NASCAR Alo's Move to America music video. It's pretty good.
NASCAR Aloe is like NASCAR Aloe's fire. He dropped that I Throw a Fit song way back. The I throw a fit, put your face in my fist. That song was fire. I really like that one. I haven't listened to much of his other music. I met the guy. I didn't meet
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah, I met him because another death proof individual, Dirty Butt, invited me to a show. I ended up being like kicked out of the green room. It was like a really weird I don't think people knew that he like invited me there. But he was like, "Oh yeah, bro, can come through." I kind of like came through and like NASCAR said what's up. I said what's up, dapped him up. We talked about music for like a second, and like me and Dirty were talking, and then like some other people that were part of the crew were just like, "What are you doing in the green room? Like, get out." And I was like, "I was invited," and they were like, "Okay, leave." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." And so I just like walked out, and it was like raining outside, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, they really just kicked me out in the rain, bro. Fuck this shit."
Like a sad movie. Damn.
No, deadass, dude. I felt like the fucking meow, 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 meow. I felt like that shit, bro. I was out there sad as fuck. I was like, damn. It was cool. Shout out NASCAR Allo.
All right. Well, yeah, I was just closing it out.
Oh, word, my bad. Thank you for having me on. I want to do this again with future album, and hopefully my PC won't shit itself, and I won't have to switch to my phone like an imbecile.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to do that.
For sure, dude. Fucking Stream 20. It's a good album. Listen to it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Bye, video.
Bye, video.